All right. All right. Hopefully, I'm not too loud because everybody's still asleep in my house. But I do want to continue my conversation. I did a live, I think last week, and I did an hour long live. And I think I talked about something very important that needs to be talked about. I talked about being a single mother, raising two teenage boys in the hard streets of Baltimore. And my live got cut off. So I do believe that my live got cut off. They cut my live off because I said some sensitive words. Um, One of the words that I kept saying is the word they don't want you to say, but you're supposed to say unalive instead of saying the other word. I did say that word a lot. And I talked about some things that I think that are very real, but I don't want to think like, but anyway, so let me just go back to that live. So I got a question. It was a ton of comments in that live that I didn't realize that I had so many people in that live. And one of the questions was, um, you are supposed to be married first before you have children. And yes, I agree. I agree with that comment wholeheartedly. But also, you have to understand that just because you get married and you get married first and you have children, hi, Dee Dee, how are you? Um, Battle Zone 1480, how are you? Sammy, hey, how are you? Michael, how are you? Glad for you guys to be here. Please make sure that you like the live. But yeah, just because you get married and then have children does not mean that you will not be a single mother. Because I've seen situations where people were married and they still became single moms. So, like, just because you get married does not mean that you won't wind up being a single mom. So I just want to put that out there. I want to clarify that because I seen that comment in my last live and I was like, yeah, but the ideal, it is very ideal for you to get married first before you have children. But honestly, from where I'm from in the hood, I don't see that a lot. I don't see that a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see that a lot. I do see people getting married. I do see married couples, but what I see mostly single moms. That's not to say that the dads are not taking care of their children, but I see a lot of single moms. Um, so backing up to my last live, I think I ended off. I was having problems with my son. His dad was unalived when he was 9, and I think that was the reason why I had most of my problems with my son. Um, the system is not put in place for parents, and I think that's one of the things that I talked about. Um, I want to try to clarify that a little bit. The system is put in place for children. Okay, so I'm going to say that. So although that my son was doing all the things that he was doing, he was breaking into my house. He was doing a lot. He was doing a lot. Although he was doing all of these things, and I was going to court, he was committing crimes, and we were going to court constantly. And I was telling them everything that he was doing. Everybody was against me. Everybody was against me, and they were for him. They were looking out for his best interest, which is why the system is put in place. But as a parent, as a single parent, going through that alone, it's a lot. It's a lot for you to deal with. It's a lot to go through. And then not only that, if this was my only child, then okay. But I had another child in the home that I had to be present for. Um, so anyway, uh, what I want to say to single moms that's raising teenage boys or teenage children, period, even teenage girls, um, try to put them in activities. I think that children that don't have anything to do, try to find their own things to do. And when they try to find things to do, it's not productive, basically. One of the things I could see that maybe I went wrong with my son is that he was very interested in football. He was very interested in football. He wanted to play football. But what I wanted to try to drive through to him is that your schoolwork was just as important as football. So you need to get everything good with school first before you're able to play football. But now looking back at it, I just wish that maybe I wish that I would have just let him play football. I wish I would have let him play football because like even though like his grades wasn't up to par and he wasn't doing good in school, I feel like that he would have had an outlet. He would have had an outlet as opposed to him going out here and trying to find an outlet. So that's my main message. I want to tell single moms of teenagers, try to put them in activities so their mind won't wander into things that they shouldn't be getting into. Ultimately, my son is now learning his own lessons. I talk to my son often, and now he can see everything that I was trying to tell him. Everything I was trying to tell him, like go to school, do what you're supposed to do, don't be out in these streets. Now he can see it. And sadly, he is now in prison. He's now in prison, and sadly, now he's finally seeing like everything that I told him before. And we talk often, and the conversations are always like, Mommy, you told me. You told me. Like, I wish I would have listened. I didn't listen. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, sadly. And this was what everything that I was preaching to him, that I was trying to prevent from happening to him. Because I seen it. I seen it. I seen it with other young men. I seen it with other young men. I seen how the streets was so glamorous. I seen how the street life was everything. And I see how it messed up their lives. I see how it messed up their lives, how they went to prison, how when they finally got out of prison, now, okay, now you have to try to get a job. How everybody is looking at you because now you got this criminal record on your back. It's like a tattoo. It's like a permanent tattoo, and everybody can see it. And now, like, although the young man is now wanting to do right, now it's very hard for him to do right because everybody is turning him away and shutting him down. Oh, you was in prison. Oh no, we can't hire you. Like, and I seen it. I seen it. And I tried everything to get through to my son. Like I talked to him daily. I talked to him daily. I told him that I believe, and these are only my beliefs. So yeah, I don't want YouTube to shut my video down, but I believe, not to say that it's true, but I believe that the system is set up for black men to fail. I really honestly believe that. When you look at so many things, how everything is indoctrinated, how everything is pushed in front of black men's faces, how everything, the street life is glamorized as this is something for you to do, how people talk down to you and say like things like you need to be real and don't be fake and phony. Like you need to constantly be if you're from the hood, you need to constantly be hood. Like even if you're at work, you supposed to still remain real. And it's pushed into young men's faces like heavily. So like I talked to my son a whole lot. I did. Now my other son, he did really well in school. He is doing very well for himself, and I am very proud of my baby. Although that my one son, he was heavily in the streets. My other son, he was in school. He was in school. He was into his books. His teachers, I always got good reports from his teachers saying how an excellent student he was, how it was a pleasure to be his teacher, how helpful he was. Like I never got like any bad reports about my second son, because I have more sons now. But about my second son, he did everything he was supposed to do. He graduated. He was in a program in school, whereas though he was able to get his college degree while he was in high school. So he got his college degree while he was in high school. So when he graduated high school with his high school diploma, and he also graduated with his college degree. He is now in the tech world. So he is doing very well for himself, and I am very proud of him. So although that one son he went to the streets, the other son did do what he was supposed to do. And that's all I wanted for my children. All I wanted for my children is to understand that this world is very cruel. It's a very cruel world. It should not be the way it is. Everything is centered around money. If you don't have money, then you don't have anything. So the way how the propaganda or the program is going is that you have to have a job. And I don't believe there's a lot of stuff that I don't believe in or whatever, or I believe in because I am a part-time conspiracy theorist or whatever. But the bottom line is that if you want to get anywhere in life, you have to have a job. Now, not to say everybody is a worker, because some people are business owners, some people are entrepreneurs. But I do believe everything starts with you having a job first, because you cannot have a successful business unless you have a job first. And sometimes, even when you do have your own business, sometimes you have to rely on a job to support that income. But yeah, the way the world is set up, it all starts with a job, and that's all I was trying to trying to put into my children, like how things are set up, and easy money is not the way to go. Although it seems easy, fast money will get you in prison or in a grave. So like, yeah, that was the message that I was trying to put out there, and YouTube cut my live off, and I was very upset because my live was an hour long, and I said a lot of important things in that live, but I do also realize that there's also guidelines that you have to follow on YouTube. So like I probably did say certain words a lot. But that's all I wanted to say. That's pretty much it. Single moms, put your children in activities, make sure their minds is stimulated, keep them active, and keep their minds occupied on something. Keep their minds occupied on something, because these streets is real, and these streets is definitely calling them, definitely. So keep your head up. I just remember how stressed out I was when I was going through everything. And everything after I've been through everything, my mother was like, "You gonna have more children, or you gonna start all over again?" So yeah, I am. I'm not gonna say I'm fearful, because God is going to take care of everything at the end of the day. At the end of the day, God is going to take care of everything, and whatever happens is supposed to happen for your journey. So I'm not really scared about my younger children, and especially in the way the state of the world it is right now. But I am more prepared to go through certain things. And also this time I did it correctly, as somebody said, well, a little correctly. My 7 year old, I got pregnant with him before I was married to my husband. I think my 7 year old was 2 or 3 by the time we got married. And then when we had the twins, we were married. So I did it correctly this time or whatever and everything. Also, I think it's very important not to just to get married before you have children, but I think it's very important that we investigate who we are laying down with and investigate them and investigate their family. Because when you lay down with this person, you are going to be a part of this person's life, especially if laying down with them result in having children. You are going to be a part of this person for the rest of their life, and their family is also going to be a part of your family for the rest of your life. So it's very important that we know who we laying down with and the family that we're getting involved with. Now, what I can say about my husband is that my husband is a very good man. I got to know him before we had our first child. I did investigate his background to see what type of person he was, what type of man he was, what type of um, what type of father he was, or whatever, and also his family. His family also comes along with that. And from what I've seen at the beginning, his family is very supporting, very loving. His family loves him. His family loves him. So that is very important, because if something happens or whatever, you need that family as a support system. And with my oldest son, I knew his dad, but I didn't really know his family like that. Now, there's a reason why I didn't know his family like that, and I'm not gonna get into it. But when he unalived or whatever, the family is the support system, because he wasn't here anymore, and there was nobody I could call. It was nobody I could call. There is a reason why it was nobody I could call, but it was nobody I can call. So it is very important that you get to know who you are getting involved with, and you also get to know their family. It's hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. So yeah, that's very important. I think that's more important than just getting married, honestly. I think it's important that we know who we are laying down with and getting involved with, and also the family that comes along with that person. Because if you don't like the family, like, and I remember I commented somewhere. I commented about it was like an interracial type of thing or whatever, and one of my comments was like, when you having children, with different races, it's important that you make sure that that child know the other part of the family. And somebody commented back to me and said, well, you can't force the family to do anything. That's why it's important for you to get to know that family. And I get it. You love this person. You fell head over heels for this person, but understand that that family comes along with everything. Like, it comes along with everything. That family is ultimately your support system, because if something happens, then that family is your support system. Now, you're supposed to also have a support system as well and everything, but sometimes it don't work out or whatever reason, whatever. But understand that if that family is not supportive of that person that you're with, understand that you're going to be pretty much alone. You're going to be pretty much alone. So I think I'm done. Oh, I'm just on my head. Let me see the comments. Where are those things? Oh, these things? These things right here. That is um pictures that my son drew for me. He made pictures for me, so I just put it on my wall or whatever. I think that's what you're talking about. Behind, yeah, those are my pictures. My son is 7, so yeah, he drew me a little picture. I guess this is supposed to be me, and this is him. So yeah, I just let's say, like, mom, and I guess that's me, and that's him. Yeah, he likes me right now, but when I get ready to do his hair, which will be in a couple hours, he's not gonna like me anymore. So, so those are pictures from my son. Trying to get this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. I don't agree that prison is the end of the road. Life itself is a challenge. Overcoming those challenges is adulthood. That's true. I agree. I agree, and I don't agree that prison is the end of the road. Um, but at the same time, like it's just hard. It's just hard. That's all I'm going to say. It's just hard. I've seen people come out and do really great and get great jobs and doing very well for themselves, but it takes a lot of mental it takes for your mental to be very, very strong. I'm not going to lie to you. It takes for your mentality to be very, very strong. And the one thing that I'm trying to drill into my son right now is that everything that you're feeling right now, that feeling that you feeling right now, like you just want to get out of there, you don't want to be there. I want you to hold on to that feeling when you get out here. And I want you to feel that. I want you to hold on to it and understand when you get out here, it's not going to be easy, but you need to hold on to that feeling to say, you know what, this is hard, but I'm not going back. All the tests that's going to come your way, I want you to be able to withstand them tests to understand this feeling that you're feeling right now, that you don't never want to feel this way again. So that is what like I'm really hoping, I'm praying that he could be very strong when he gets out. Like I really pray with everything inside of me because it is very hard. And if you don't have the right mentality, if you could fall right back into the same trap again. You could be right back there again because your mentality is not strong enough. But you are absolutely right. It's not the end of the road, and you can definitely turn your life around and do better. I've seen it. I've definitely seen it. I know stories of people who definitely changed their life around, and they you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know they had a criminal record or they have a criminal record. So I definitely agree with that. But you have to be very, very, very strong. He's telling me so many things, like the friends he thought was his friends. He's starting to see things now. Like, yeah, I I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you, but it takes for us sometimes it takes for us to learn our own lessons. It takes for us to learn our own lessons to understand. Cause I had to learn a lot of lessons. A lot of lessons. Oops, I don't know what I just pressed. Let's see. I don't agree. First, I'm proud of you for being a mother and doing your research of who you have a relationship with. Yeah, that's important. That's important. And these are, like I said, these are lessons that I had to learn. These are lessons that I had to learn. Um, yeah, yeah. Definitely lessons I had to learn. So with my first son, like I said, I really didn't know his family like that. With my second son, I knew his family. I knew his family, and I knew his family. That's all I'm going to say. It wasn't the ideal support system, um, but at the same time, like I try not to hold things against people or whatever. Um, and I will say, like I wasn't fully aware of his situation when I first got with him, but afterwards, I did become aware of what was going on. So yeah, that is your support system. And even with my second son, his dad eventually, his dad was in prison. His dad was in prison for most of his life. By the time his dad got out of prison, my son was 18. My son was 18. So all of the hard work, all the heavy lifting, I did that by myself. I did it by myself. So yeah, and when you're looking at the family dynamic of it, I kind of I kind of knew what I was getting into, but then I didn't. Like at the beginning, I didn't, but then towards maybe my son was about 3, 4, maybe 5. Then I started finding out bits and pieces about the family. So they didn't. There were no help when my son dad was in prison. It was just me and my family. That was it. So yeah. Okay. Well, what are we looking at? Okay. All right. Let me see. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. What state are you in, or where your son is housed? So I am in Maryland. Um, and he's in Maryland. He's in Maryland as well. No, I guess that will. Okay. All right. Let's see. That's the reason why we said this is so high, because of the fact that we forget feelings. That's the reason why we put this is because of the fact that we forget the feelings. Yeah, I agree. We okay. I gotta look up that word. I gotta look up that word. Hey Siri. Siri not gonna work right now, but yeah. Mm. But yeah, I just wanted to say that because I was really upset that YouTube cut my live off. Like, and when I look back at it, I'm like, 30 minutes. Like I was on live for like an hour. Like, and I said some very important stuff. But gotta follow these little guidelines or whatever. And I know one of the words that I did say a whole lot in that live. So that was my fault. Okay. I'll probably come back another day to talk about. I do want to talk about something else, but I'll talk about that another day. The young lady that unalives her supervisor. Um, but I'll talk about that another day though. Let me see. There are other support systems as life gives you those teachable moments. I have a contact for you, Dr. Ron Garrett. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'll definitely investigate that. And I will say, like, although that it frustrated me when I was going through what I was going through with my son, I will say, like, the things that they had in place, it was just so, it was nice. And I wish that my son would have took advantage of the things they had in place. So one of the things they had in place was my son was, because he was a teenage boy, he wanted money. So they had like a program where as though the kids can go to this little program or whatever, and they would give them like a little stipend or whatever and everything to just attend the program. He was never home to even go. He was interested in rap or whatever. He liked to rap or whatever. He made a few little raps or whatever. They had a program where as though they could send him, they could take him to the studio. When they came to pick him up to take him to the studio, he was never there. Um, they had a lot. They had a program where as though he would sit down and talk to a therapist. He was never home to even go to everything that they tried to do. Like he was never there to to benefit from it. So I will say they did try little programs and try to do things or whatever and everything. I think the most thing that I was upset about is that when he was actually committing these crimes, that they were slapping him on the wrist and sending him back home. And I felt like, well, he's not going to learn his lesson until he actually sees what it really is. So when I questioned them, I'm like, well, can you send him to lockup? Like he needs to see what it really is for real. If he keep going out here committing these crimes, and they told me that they don't have a space for the crimes that he was committing. The space they have is for children that are attempting unalivings, um, and things of that nature, basically. But if you stole the car or whatever, they don't have nowhere to send you. They're going to send you back home with a home monitoring. If you was fighting, or if you tried to rob an old lady or whatever, they're going to just send you back home with your parents on a home monitoring ankle. The home monitoring ankle don't even work because like half of the time he was outside doing stuff, and I had to call him like, hey, my son been gone for like 3 hours now. Like, so the home monitoring ankle thing, it didn't work. Now I've heard stories recently that they're trying to revamp the program or whatever and everything. But I just think that children that are committing crimes, I think that they need to be shown a glimpse of what their reality is going to be if they continue to go down this path. And I think that's where the system is failing at. Right now on the news every day, it's children out here 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. They robbing people cars. They doing all types of stuff, whatever. And they getting, it's still the same thing. It's still the same struggle. And now they talking about law where as though they're going to lock up the parents or whatever. But if we telling y'all like, look, we need some help. We need some help. Y'all need to do something more with these children. But now you're gonna punish the parents. Now parents that are a part of the chaos, I call it. Parents that are very street centered. Um yeah, the streets is all they know. They raise their children to be in the streets, a part of the streets, or whatever, then okay, I get why you might want to punish those parents. But parents that are hardworking parents that go to work every single day, pay taxes, like how you want to punish the parents that's doing what they supposed to do? That's what I don't get. Like, yeah. So, but yeah, I'm going on and on and on. Let me. Okay, all right. Let's see. These are. Please reach out to him for your son, please. Okay, I definitely will. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for liking the live. I really appreciate you guys. It means so much that you like the live. I'm going to get my hair finished. Um, so thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.